Good, everybody. You already know what time it is. Corrine Gale, Rackstein J, and Stephanie Ogden. Shh. Stop doing that. I see where you're going. I see where you're going. We're not going there yet. That's not what we're aiming for yet. But we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. We have to examine all the evidence objectively before we make any type of conclusion. But yes, I put together all of your comments throughout all of my videos, and I can say, yes, we're headed there. Okay. So part of what the problem is this video is going to be called A Witness Named Victor. Now, I'm just tossing the name out. Sort of, kind of. A witness named Victor. So what did Victor have to gain in what he said? You told a lot of non-truths. You told a lot of slight truths. I want to know why'd you play with the evidence like that? And we're not going to go back into detail because I already spoke about everything you were saying. But why'd you play with the evidence like this? We're going to ponder what a witness had to gain from this situation. Let's say this witness was related to someone as a friend, and he did a friend a favor by playing a role as a witness. And what he did was tell some story of a truth that would match up to the competency, the comfort, and the motion these guys had, if there was a motive, to cover things up. Now, what did this witness have to gain? Because we already know he couldn't have been a real witness. Didn't get interrogated. Called the passenger uncle. Don't know why he did that. And then he went on to take a pseudo news anchor and give his story. Because to date, I don't have any realness in this anchor. I can't find a television station. Can't even match up a voice with an anchor that we know. The anchors usually show their face on camera too. They don't hold a camera directly at a witness. That's more of a social media thing. Sort of like, what I could do with this phone. What did the witness have to gain? When we find this out, you figure out what happened. Because when you know what a witness had to gain for telling a fake story, that will lead you back to an era of truths, let's say. And in the future, not today, but in the future, maybe we'll examine some other stuff regarding the alternatives to what this, let's say, witness was covering up. But right now, we're just focusing on Victor. What did Victor have to gain? Say hi. What did Victor have to gain? Well, let's just throw a few things out there. Maybe he was doing this to tell a different story so that another story was not released on who exactly the passenger was, and this passenger wasn't immediately picked up and questioned, because at that time the passenger would have ended up telling everything that happened because they weren't built to not break. As we've seen, it was potential that this passenger could have actually been involved in more than we know of. What if other pictures came out with this passenger taking pictures with people that were related to the case, and then this would have been released, and this would have caused the issue, because we know that this would have linked everybody together, and the person riding with him would have been seen as the mastermind. Yes, that is one alternative. Something that I've been pushing at for a little bit. What if this witness was not friends of TzxTentacion? He said he was a fanatic, and it would make sense if he did not know of TzxTentacion, other than there being a situation of him being a superstar and him actually knowing the superstar. But then, in the light of who this witness was, he could have also known someone that knew TzxTentacion, and that would bring us to another reason. So he was doing a favor for someone. Who was he doing the favor to? And I'm not going to give you the dun dun dun. You don't deserve that. Third alternative. What if this witness was potentially the person in the car with him? And because he was potentially the person in the car with him, then being in the car with him as a person of interest, he would have been questioned directly. And he wouldn't have been in front of, oh, who's that news anchor again? Huh. I didn't see it posted yet, but who's that news anchor again? Well, whoever the news anchor was, he wouldn't have been standing in front of him. Was that the way to get the guilt off of his chest after being in the car and running himself? Because you talked about people running and someone ran in with you, but buddy, we don't have camera of anyone leaving the car or running in. And again, the way they pulled up, we already know it's not possible someone could have ran after the blockade happened. If you're blocked from the front and the back, there's no way a shooter is going to let you just run. That's not how it works. He doesn't say, oh, you have nothing to do with this. We came for him, but you were in the car with him, and we think he has money. You'd automatically presume that person has money too because he's hanging out with a person of influence who may have money. That's logical thinking. So we already are doing critical / logical thinking. So dropping in on the witness, why isn't this witness exposed? Then he posted it to his social media. Ooh, let me ask this witness a quick question. 1 second. Let me ask him a quick question. And again, we're going to call you Victor. Hey, Victor, why? Or let me skip. I'm getting ahead of myself. Who was photographing and taking pictures of Tentacion in the car once he was deceased? That's a simple question. And that is a question you should know. Because if all that happened, you were definitely out there at the scene. The same way you were following him to his car, asking for a picture. Victor, asking for a picture. Huh? So you felt safe to do that? I'm just asking, who was the person that took a picture of his deceased body and put it up on social media? This is a question they should already ask. So this isn't nothing damning or nothing outlandish. Why? Oh. Now back to the other question. Victor, why did you run inside to do it? This is a day and age we all have cell phones. Oh, that's why I'm asking who took the photo. Because if someone walked up and took the photo, if they had to be there during it happening. They didn't just pull up. Unless you're saying more people pulled up on the scene to do this, which I highly doubt. How couldn't they call 911 from their cell phone? Why'd you have to run inside to do it? Well, right there, your story becomes null and void. Who called 911? We don't even have a 911 call. How many times has that been released for a case? Man, I've seen so many 911 calls thrown to WorldStar. It's not even funny. Why couldn't you guys get the 911 call? If you really were looking for this man and you really wanted to help him, why did it take so long to try and get him to a hospital? Who was standing there with his deceased body? Well, allegedly deceased because none of you were medics, right? None of you were medics, correct? Or am I wrong? Who had medical training on the scene? I'm sorry, Victor had medical training. Or Victor's associates, or affiliates, or Riva Motorsports. Who knows? Ooh, this story's getting kind of heavy, right? So now we know the witness isn't trusted. We can't trust the news anchor. Who was it? Who was it? It was just a woman facing a camera at someone talking, asking questions. What news anchor? I never seen the news done that way. There's usually a cameraman facing two people standing there. Another mistake. See, it's mistake after mistake, and that's how I know things don't make sense. You see, it's simple mathematics. Now, I could sit here and jump to conclusions, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to break it down step by step. So when I do make my conclusion, people are like, oh, well, he did talk through every bit and piece of the case, so there's nothing really that I can be sitting here lying about, making up. That's why I didn't do one big video. I did one big video on this, they would have said, oh, he's making it up, he's lying. No, we're breaking it down piece by piece, person by person, because that's the way an investigation goes. So what did they fail to do investigation-wise that would have led to this conclusion, or something that would have made anything to this type of sense? So an unsensible investigation leading to a conclusion of 4 men allegedly on the scene, because we have no video or proof. and we're using video proof from a social media website. I didn't know that could be used as evidence to damn someone to jail, other than them having lyrics or something blatantly. I mean, these guys were flashing money. They could have been flashing money from a hit they did 2 months ago. How'd I know it was from Tentacion's hits? It all seems so well orchestrated. Just like a band playing, it's all orchestrated. Whenever we ask questions, they filled in the general questions, but what we've been talking about on TheCzarr Rights Reserve was exact questions, exact techniques, investigative technique that they fail to use because they get paid to sit around and make assumptions, then put together bland evidence to convict someone. That's what they do. Then go home to their family, not having done anything right, and hold their chest out like they're doing their job. So this is also hurting Broward County. You guys don't look good in this investigation. This is how you do this investigation, but you want to throw up photos of an overdose couple with their kid in the back. And yes, I still got those pictures if you want to play games. We could play that game. But that's okay. That's cool for you to do. Oh, you could throw these black men's photos up all in a row. Just play with them up there. Play with their defamation. Play with it. Play with it. But when we go and ask for a security camera, you don't have it. Oh, it impede the investigation. Oh, we don't know. Just a bunch of lying. Just a bunch of lying. Yeah, I called you out. This ain't objective. You lying. You got it. So show it to us. The witness is lying. Yeah, I called it out. All rights reserved.